Hello students, how are you? So let's start with 6th standard science subject. Students, in previous videos we have seen many topics related to this chapter, air around us, and in this video we are going to see all topics, means in short summary of this lesson, air around us. So in the beginning of this lesson we have seen children that different firkis are rotating or moving because of air, correct? Now we have seen one experiment also, that is air present everywhere around us. So for that we have seen one empty bottle, and if we are keeping it inverted inside a bucket full of water, so we can see nothing is happening. Okay, so it shows that the bottle is not empty, air is present inside that, because when we are slightly tilting that bottle, so air bubbles are coming out from that bottle. So this shows that air is present everywhere. So inside that bottle also air is present, that bottle is not empty, air is present in that bottle. So we have seen that experiment. And about air, air is mixture of gases on earth. A thick blanket of air surrounds the earth's surface, is called as atmosphere, and the moving air is called as wind. Now we'll see what is air. So air is the earth's atmosphere. Air around us is a mixture of many gases and dust particles. It is the clear gas in which living things live and breathe. It has an indefinite shape and volume. It has no color or smell. It is odorless. It has mass and weight. It is a matter as it has mass and weight. So air creates atmospheric pressure. There is no air in vacuum of the cosmos. The layer of air surround the earth is called atmosphere, and there are 5 layers of atmosphere: exosphere, thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere and troposphere. Here in this diagram you can see children many gases which are present in air, that is the composition of air. Until 18th century people thought air was just one substance. So experiments have proved that it is really not so. So air is a mixture of many gases, and you can see a nitrogen gas, oxygen gas, carbon dioxide, other gases, dust particles. Now composition of air is shown in this pie chart. So air contains mainly nitrogen, oxygen, and remaining includes carbon dioxide, noble gases, water vapor, dust particles and traces of other gases. So about nitrogen and oxygen, so air contains about 78% nitrogen, means major portion, and 28% oxygen. Oxygen in air supports burning, whereas nitrogen does not support for burning. And nitrogen is the major component of air. Unlike oxygen, it does not support for burning. It takes up nearly 78% or 4/5 of the air. Carbon dioxide makes up a small component of air around us. Plants and animals consume oxygen for respiration and produce carbon dioxide. Plants and animals matter on burning also consumes oxygen. While burning they are consuming oxygen and produces mainly carbon dioxide and other few gases. Air contains varying amounts of water vapor depending on the weather of that place. The sun hits the water in oceans and seas. This water evaporates and forms water vapors. So here is an image of wet clothes. They are becoming dry because of water vapor or air. Air contains water vapor, and we also saw that when air comes in contact with a cool surface, it condenses and drops of water appear on a cooled surfaces. The presence of water vapor in air is important for the water cycle in nature also. Smoke released by vehicles, factories, kitchen, burning of other materials, and it contains harmful gases like oxides of nitrogen, sulfur and carbon dioxide, etc. The burning of fuel also produces smoke. Smoke contains a few gases and fine dust particles and is often harmful. That is why You see long chimneys in factories. This takes the harmful smoke and gases away from our noses, but brings it closer to birds flying up in the sky. The dust particles are always present in air. This activity we have seen in that an empty bottle is inverted and dipped under water. So water does not enter inside the bottle because the space inside the bottle is filled with air. On tilting, air goes out of the bottle. Now water enters the bottle, and this shows that air occupies space also. By this experiment, we can come to know that air supports for burning. So we can take a small burning candle and cover the burning candle with a glass jar. After few minutes, the candle is extinguished, and as the supply of air is stopped due to the glass jar, inverted glass jar, so the burning of the candle is also stopped. And this experiment proves that air supports for burning. As the supply of oxygen stops, so at that time the candle is extinguished. Here you can see in figure 15.8, policemen regulating traffic at a crowded place. Crossing often wear a mask because that burning of fuel also causes smoke and harmful gases, and dust particle is also present in air. So as it is entering inside nose and respiratory tract, so it can causes many harmful effects to our respiratory system. So that's why that policeman regulating at traffic at a crowded place, they are wearing a mask. And it is always suggested that we should always breathe through our nose and not through our mouth, because from nose, if that dust particles are going, so they are getting filtered with the help of tiny hairs which are present inside our nose, and the mucus is also present, so it can stick on that, so it is getting filtered from your nose. So and in the figure 15.7, one experimental setup they have shown that by this we can observe the presence of dust particles present in air. So this is an experiment that close all the doors and windows and with curtains pulled down, and we have to make that room very dark. And when we are slightly opening the door or a window facing the sun just a little, so in such a way which is shown in figure, so it allows sunlight to enter in the room only through that slit. And if we will observe carefully, so we can see dust particles are present in that rays. Okay, so that shows that dust particles are present in air. Now as we have seen dust particles are present in air, like that air is present in water also. So if we'll see this activity, so take water in container and heat it. So we observe tiny bubbles on the surface of vessel after some time, and these bubbles come from air dissolved in water, and this air dissolved air, oxygen which is present in water, because of that that aquatic plants and animals can breathe. And this is an experiment. We have to take a small glass vessel or beaker, we can heat it that. So after some time you can see tiny bubbles are coming out from the inner surface of the vessel. So inside you can see the tiny bubbles on the inside, and on heating, air dissolved in water escapes in the form of this bubbles, means air is moving out in the form of bubble from water, and this shows that air is dissolved in water. Just like we have seen air is present in water, and that's why the aquatic plants and animals can take that dissolved oxygen and they can respire. So like that, soil has air in it. So that's why, because of that air, that animals which are present inside the surface of that soil, so they can also respire. When the water is poured on lump of soil, it displaces the air which is seen in the form of bubbles. The organisms that live inside the soil and the place and the plant roots respire in this air. A lot of burrows and holes are formed in deep soil by the animals living in the soil. And these burrows also makes space available for air to move in and out of the soil. So when it's rain heavily, water fills up all these spaces occupied by the air in the soil. And in these situations, animals living in the soil have to come out for respiration. So that's why the earthworm also come out of the soil during heavy rains. You can see frogs are also coming out during heavy rains. That's when we can listen the sound of frogs when it is heavy rain. So in this way, it can shows that soil has air in it, and many uses of air also we can see that air supports life. We all need air to survive. Air contains oxygen, carbon dioxide, useful to plants and animals. Plants use carbon dioxide of the air to make their own food by a process called photosynthesis, and so it gives life. And we have seen these properties that air occupies space. If you feel a balloon, you can see that air is occupying space. Air is present everywhere, including water and soil also. We have seen the experimental setup for that. Then air is transparent, air is colorless, air is essential for life on the earth. We have seen the properties of air. So air filled in the balloon tubes in the car. Then air exhausts pressure, syringes are there. These are daily life examples. Air has weight also. If you will inflate a balloon, it if you will keep on weighing balance, so you can see the weight also. You can see uses of air. Aeroplane is flying, birds are flying. Then you can see it's supposed for burning. Windmill is there. Because of wind we can produce electricity also. So these are some of the uses. It is useful for plants, animals, human being for breathing. So uses of air. So air is useful to human being in many ways. So it is important for breathing. It is used for burning fuels to make fire. It helps birds, bats, insects to fly. It plays an important role in the water cycle in nature. And compressed air is used in tire of various kinds of vehicles, and it also helps in the dispersal of seeds and pollens of flowers of several plants. In this way, children, we have seen all topics of this chapter 15, air around us. So please do these all activities at home so your concept will become more clear. Thank you for watching video, students.